Then into the H section, Halloween. Then the 2018 Halloween. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, one of my all-time favourite movies. Park Chan-wook's The Handmaiden from Criterion. No, this isn't Criterion. This is the Curzon Artificial Eye. Beg your pardon. Hard to Be a God by Alexis Germain. The Harry Potter collection. The Hateful Eight. Premium collection release of Robert Wise's The Haunting. Hell or High Water. Spike Jonze's Her. Heretic. Knockoff of The Exorcist. Hidden Figures. My wife's favourite film. One of my all-time wife's favourite films, that is. She loves that movie. Highlander. There Can Be Only One. But it will be interesting to see what Cavill does with it next year. I think it's due for release. Ben Wheatley's High Rise. For some reason I have The Hills Have Eyes 2 on Blu-ray and none of the others. I don't know why that is. Jodorowsky's The Holy Mountain. Oh, what a movie. The Masters of Cinema release of Hausu from Nobuhiko Obayashi. Mental movie. Love it. And then another premium collection of House of Wax 3D with Vincent Price. Then we have the Hobbit movies. We have The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug, and then we have a steel book of The Battle of the Five Armies 3D. Premium collection once again of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. This one should actually have come before. This is the Universal Hunchback of Notre Dame from the 1920s with Lon Chaney. So that actually needs to go before the Charles Lawton. And then after that we have the Disney Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is my favourite animated film ever made. The Hunger Games collection. Thomas Vinterberg's The Hunt, should I say. I'm not that friendly with him. Oh, this really bothers me. I hate it when CEX does this, when they do cover reprinted. I ordered this offline and it's cover reprinted, so I need to get a whole new cover for this because I can't stand these fake printed ones. They look like pirate copies. Oh well, never mind. I Am Legend, Into the Eyes Now. Arrow Academy release of Images. The Impossible. Oops, why is that back to front? A lenticular cover for Inception. The Incredibles. The Incredibles 2. Arrow release of Incredible Shrinking Man, my favourite 50s sci-fi film. Inferno, possibly my favourite Argento film. It scares the hell out of me, that film does. Inglourious Bastards, definitely my favourite Tarantino film. Inside Out. 4K of Interstellar. Philip Kaufman's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is the Invisible Man Legacy Collection. Invisible Man Returns, Invisible Woman, Invisible Agent, Invisible Man Revenge, and Abbott and the Invisible Man. And then we have Lee Whannell's Invisible Man from 2019. Fantastic movie. That was the first 4K I owned. Iron Man. That's the only Iron Man I've got. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't know why I own this on Blu-ray when I definitely own it on video, and I certainly own it on DVD as well, so oh well. That's the original mini-series of It from 1990. Then the Andy Muschietti 2017 It, and the 2019 It Chapter 2. It Came From Beneath the Sea, another release from Indicator, more of a Harryhausen. And It's a Wonderful Life, my favourite Christmas film. Into the J's, we have Jason and the Argonauts, more of a Harryhausen. Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge. If we quickly go over here into my Jaws shelf, we can see here on the front we have the Jaws 4K Steelbook, there's the regular Blu-ray, and then the 4K behind it there. So I do own all the formats of Jaws, it's just that they're in my special cabinet. And also while I'm over here as well, I will also show off this here, which is the Godzilla Showa era, which is all 15 films from Gojira from 1954 to The Terror of Mechagodzilla 1971. While I was mentioning the Godzilla films, I also forgot to remember that I have a lot of other Godzilla films on Blu-ray as well. We have Godzilla vs. Biollante, Shin Godzilla, and Godzilla -1. That's on the Japanese side. And then the other side here by King Ghidorah, we have Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla The New Empire. Oh, back to the J's. Here we go. So many names and numbers to remember. John Wick, and John Wick 2. Jojo Rabbit from Taika Waititi. Joker. Journeyman, Paddy Considine's fantastic film. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. The original Jungle Book, the Disney one, and then the remake from the Jungle Book by Jon Favreau. The 4K of the Jurassic Park trilogy movies. Then the Steelbook Blu-ray of Jurassic World. And then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I don't own any of the other Jurassic World yet. I'm really not bothered about owning Dominion, but I do want to get a copy of Rebirth, because despite the fact that that film is a hot mess, I really enjoyed Rebirth. A Buster Keaton collection of Sherlock Jr., The General, and Steamboat Bill Jr. 88 films of Killer Crocodile. Kick-Ass. Arrow's release of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Killing Them Softly by is this Andrew Dominic? No, it's Jeffrey Higgins. Why do I think it was Andrew Dominic? Oh well, it feels like an Andrew Dominic film at times. The Vintage Classics release of Kind Hearts and Coronets. This is a German release of Kingdom of the Spiders from 1977. A terrific creature feature, one of the best, if not the best, creature features to follow Jaws. The premium collection of King Kong, 1933. Then we have King Kong Escapes and Peter Jackson's 2005 King Kong. I do own all the other King Kong movies, but the rest of them are on DVD. So Son of Kong, the 1977 remake of King Kong Lives, they're all on Blu-ray. No, they're not. They're on DVD. King of Thieves, Kong Skull Island, Kubo and the Two Strings, the Stanley Kubrick collection of Lolita, 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, Barry Lyndon, The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, and Eyes Wide Shut. And then we have the Akira Kurosawa collection, Samurai collection, which is 7 Samurai, Throne of Blood, The Hidden Fortress, Yojimbo, and Sanjuro. A few years ago, I did a complete watch of every single Kurosawa film, and it was wonderful. It was an absolutely wonderful way to spend a couple of months. The Lady Eve on Criterion from Preston Sturgis. This is the Ealing comedy The Lady Killers. La La Land. This is the 101 release of The Last Broadcast. This is a special slipcover that came with it, which I really love. Premium collection release of The Last Picture Show. Edgar Wright's Last Night in Soho. And then this is a Second Sight Films release of Late Night with the Devil. Apparently there is a VHS available of this film that Second Sight did officially, and that would be an awesome film to own on VHS, because it feels so much like a 70s film. Leave No Trace, The Lego Movie, Lego Batman Movie, Les Miserables, The Lethal Weapon Collection, Let the Right One In. Now this is a very sturdy box set. This is actually usually much bigger. It's usually the size of the Godzilla Showa era collection if you buy it. But this is the Herschel Gordon Lewis Feast collection. It's usually called the Cereal Box collection, because it is in a full size of the full size of a cereal box. This is the smaller version, but still got all the same films. Blood Feast, which is of course the film which Herschel Gordon Lewis made his name. Scum of the Earth, 2000 Maniacs, Moonshine Mountain, Colour Me Blood Red, Something Weird, The Gruesome Twosome, Taste of Blood, She Devils on Wheels, Just for the Hell of It, How to Make a Doll, The Wizard of Gore, This Stuff Will Kill Ya, and The Gorgo Girls. An absolute treasure trove of grindhouse trash there. I love it. Life of Pi. I think that was actually a really cheap Vinted buy as well. I think that was about £15. So that was a real find. That was, yeah. Life of Pi, The Lighthouse, Limitless, The Lion King, Lion King 2: Simba's Pride, which I will always say is better than The Lion King. Better music. Steelbook of Logan. Whoops, premium collection of Logan's Run. Looking for Eric. Looper, and the Lord of the Rings Blu-ray collection extended Blu-ray, should I say. Criterion edition of The Tragedy of Macbeth. I've got it under M for Macbeth rather than The Tragedy of Macbeth because I always think of that as the film Macbeth, and it even says Macbeth down the spine. One of my favourite films, even though it's Roman Polanski. I think it's the best adaptation of Shakespeare ever put to film. Very closely followed actually by Justin Kurzel's Macbeth from 2015. Really like that film as well. Mad Max Fury Road. This is another one of those box sets which are meant to look like a VHS. This is Mandy, Pablo Panos Cosmatos movie with a barnstorming performance by Nicolas Cage. The Masters of Cinema edition of Man Full Seasons. The Man Who Fell to Earth. The BFI release of Dziecię Vertov's The Man with a Movie Camera. Steelbook of the Martian. Mary Poppins 50th anniversary, and Mary Poppins Returns. I have a lot of the Disney remakes on Blu-ray. I didn't realise I've not been a fan of them. I guess some of them I am. The Matrix. Powell and Pressburger's wonderful film, Matter of Life and Death. Oh, back down we go. The Medusa Touch. M. Thregan. Memento. Fritz Lang's Metropolis. This is the Eureka release, and I think this is the best copy of it. This is certainly the most intact version of the film I've ever seen. A lot of the copies I've had before have really been quite scrappy in their restorations, but this one from Eureka was actually really damn good. So if you're a fan of Metropolis, or you want to see Metropolis, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's an absolute, classic of sci-fi. This is the one you should definitely check out. The original, Miracle on 34th Street, one of our favourite Christmas movies. Moana. Mum and Dad. The Monkey, which was one of my favourite horror films from last year. Last year was an absolute treasure trove of great horror, and The Monkey was right in there. Monkey Shines from George Romero. A Monster Calls. Monsters. Monsters Inc. Moon. Moonlight. Mother. Mr. Sardonicus. From this is William Castle's film from released by Indicator. The Mummy Legacy Collection. The Mummy, The Mummy's Hand, The Mummy's Tomb, The Mummy's Ghost, The Mummy's Curse, and Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. The Muppet Christmas Carol. This is the remake of My Bloody Valentine. I would love for them to do an uncut release of George Mihalka's original 1981 film, because I love that slasher, and I've never seen it in its full uncut glory because it's just not available in this country yet. But I would love to. I know that they've released it in America for a few years now, so I would really like to see that. And My Life as a Courgette, Claude Barris's film. Moving on to the ends, we have Never Sleep Again, which is a terrific documentary about the history of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. The Nightmare Before Christmas. The Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Arrow Academy's release of Night of the Hunter. Darren Aronofsky's Noah. The Northman. And then next to The Northman is also Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, my favourite film of last year. Oh, that's fallen out. Onto the O's. We have Oblivion. We have The Old Dark House from Eureka. For some reason it's in a red case, but I do like it. Once Upon a Time in America. One Cut of the Dead from Third Window. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Another Eureka release, Masters of Cinema of Onibaba. And the 4K release of Oppenheimer. As you can probably see from the Blu-rays that I have, from the 4Ks that I have here, I only really want them on 4K if they will visually be beneficial. I'm not exactly going to get a film like, I don't know, a film that I really love here, like, I'm not going to get a film like Moonlight, or A Monster Calls, or I don't know, Megan or something. I'm not going to get that on 4K because I don't think it will benefit visually from it. But films like Interstellar, Oppenheimer, 2001: A Space Odyssey, they will be the films that I'll buy on 4K because they're the ones that I think will really benefit the most from it. Moving on to the P's, we have Pacific Rim. Oops, get in there now. We have Glass on the Shelf, Pan's Labyrinth. Next we have, leave these here. Paranorman, re-release of The Passion of Joan of Arc. Pearl, Premium Collection release of Performance. Phantom of the Opera with Claude Rains. Picnic at Hanging Rock. Pig. Piranha. Is this 88 Films? No, it's Final Cut Pictures. Final Cut Entertainment, that is. I've not heard of those before, but yes, that's Piranha. 4K of Poltergeist. The reason I have this on 4K is because it was $9.99 with any purchase, and $9.99 for any 4K is a good deal. So, and it's Poltergeist, which is a fantastic movie. The Post, Predator, The Prestige, Revenge, Alice Lowe's film, Pride, Steelbook of the Princess and the Frog, Prometheus, Psycho, and Psycho 2. I really want to try and get the Psycho complete collection. I recently watched Psycho 3 and 4 and I really enjoyed those as well, and I know that they're available in one big box set, so I'm definitely going to try and aim to get that soon. Onto the R's, Raging Bull, The Raid 2, Rampage, Akira Kurosawa's Ran, Arrow videos of The Raven, Ready Player One, Rear Window, Powell and Pressburger's The Red Shoes, The Red Turtle from Ghibli, Duo, a double box set of The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under, The Revenant, 88 Films release of Vicky O, The Story of Vicky O. This is a gruesome movie and I absolutely love it. It might be one of the most insane things I've ever watched. It is just mental. Arrow release of Hideo Nakata's Ring, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Another Arrow release. This is a RoboCop. This is a special edition RoboCop with all sorts of goodies in there. Rocket Man, 4K of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. The main reason why I have this on 4K is because this is my personal favourite Star Wars film. Rosemary's Baby, Arrow release of Runaway Train, and Run Fat Boy Run. I'm not entirely sure why I have that on Blu-ray. Must have got that in a bundle. Moving on to the S's, we have Saint Maud by Rose Glass, possibly the best final shot in any horror film ever made. Savages, Saving Mr. Banks, Scarface, Schindler's List 25th Anniversary, The Seed of Chucky, my second favourite film of all time, Seven, The Seventh Seal 50th Anniversary Collection, The Shallows, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Del Toro's The Shape of Water, Sharknado with a very cool lenticular cover, terrible movie but I enjoy it very much, Shazam, the only DC Cinematic Universe film I have there, 4K of The Shining, Eureka release of Silent Running, Sin City, 4K of Sinners, 4K of Sisu, Sleeping Beauty, Arrow release of Slugs. I haven't even taken the labels of that one yet, need to do that. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Social Network, Friedkin's Sorcerer, Soul, Soylent Green from the Premium Collection from HMV, Speed, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Universe, Spider-Verse, and Spirited Away. almost done now. Almost done. Split, Stan and Ollie, Star Trek Into Darkness, the Star Wars Complete Collection, the Blu-ray of Rogue One, so I don't need that anymore, so that can go to someone if they want it. The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, Sting, terrific creature feature, Straight Outta Compton, The Strange Colour of Your Body's Tears, The Substance, The Suicide Squad, Super. Now this is a great film. This is one I watched for my 31 Days of Halloween last year, Superhost. This is a very cool movie, very bonkers indeed. This was a Shudder original about a young woman who puts their B&B up on like a website for people to come and visit, and she will do anything to make sure that they get the perfect vacation. Yeah, really cool. And this girl, I can't remember what her name is. I need to find it out now because she really was fantastic. Oh, yes, that's her name, Gracie Gillan. She is amazing in this film. I would love to see her do more stuff because she has the makings of a proper horror scream queen. She's terrific. Richard Donner's Superman, Argento's Suspiria. I wouldn't mind getting Guadagnino's Suspiria as well, actually. I did like that film a lot. My favourite Tim Burton film, Sweeney Todd and the Daniel Swiss Army Man. Need to get Everything Everywhere All at Once. Every time I see I've got Swiss Army Man, I really realise I need to get Everything Everywhere as well. T2 Trainspotting, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, Tales That Witness Murder, the Philippi Brothers Talk to Me, the film that really put them on the map. Sean Baker's Tangerine, yep. 101's release of Tarantula. Bogdanovich's Target. I cannot wait to watch this. Thank you so much, Sam. This was a Christmas present of mine, and it's one that I've really been looking forward to checking out. So that will probably be in the next couple of days. That will. Terminator 2, the Terrifier trilogy, Theatre of Blood from Arrow, Them from the HMV Premium Collection, There Will Be Blood. Congratulations on Paul Thomas Anderson for finally getting his much-deserved Oscar, although we should have got it years ago. They Shall Not Grow Old. Peter Jackson has done some amazing stuff in his career, but I think this might be the best thing he's ever done. This is an extraordinary movie. Another film from the HMV Premium Collection, The Thing from Another World. Then John Carpenter's The Thing. Thor. And Thor Ragnarok on 4K. Tommy Lee Jones's Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada. Double set of The Three Musketeers and The Four Musketeers. Indicator release of The Tingler. Scream, scream for your lives. Steelbook of Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy. Titanic. The BFI release of Ozu's Tokyo Story, devastating film that is. The Towering Inferno. The Toy Story trilogy. Train to Busan. Get Out, Tremors. Our release of Tremors. Joel Schumacher's Trespass. That film got a lot of criticism, and I can see why, but I really like the chemistry between Nicolas Cage and Nicole Kidman in that film. I think they're really good in it. Troll Hunter. And in the last for the P's is the Criterion 4K release of Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me. I mean, that's all you need, really, is that. Into the Use, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Unbreakable, yes, I don't own Glass, Jonathan Glazer's Under the Skin, and Us. Speaking of Jonathan Glazer, I also really need to get The Zone of Interest. Really need to get that film. Whoops! V for Vendetta, Vintage World Cinema collection. This is of Joel Schleiser's The Vanishing. Versus, Vertigo, Videodrome, Vikingdom, I have no idea what that is. Into the W's, we have the premium collection of Wait Until Dark, wonderful Audrey Hepburn, The Walk, Wall-E, War for the Planet of the Apes, Watcher. Oh, they've done it again! Cover reprinted of Watchmen. When Marnie was there. This is the Steelbook of Whiplash, my favourite film of the 21st century so far. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The Wind Rises. The Vivitch. So yes, I have all of Robert Eggers' films. The Wizard of Oz. And The Wolf of Wall Street. And then finally, we have the final shelf here, which is the Wolfman Legacy Collection, which is the Wolfman, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, House of Frankenstein again, House of Dracula again, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein again, Werewolf of London, and She-Wolf of London. So that's 3 copies on Blu-ray of House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Wow. The Wolverine, The Woman in Black, Wonka, get in there Wonka, Wreck-It Ralph, the X-Men, oh, right, the X-Men trilogy, X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, and finally, in the Zs, because I don't have any Ys, Zero Dark 30, Zero Theorem, Zombievers, Zombieland, and finally, Zootropolis. So yes, that is all the Blu-rays in my collection. That's quite a lot of movies. Some great, some not so great, but all of which I'm very, very happy to have. Need to get through watching all of them. I probably will have done that by the end of the year. Some absolute treasures here, some not so. But I never said that this was the Criterion collection. This is the not Criterion collection, if you like. But you know, this is a collection that I've curated over many years now, and it's one that I'm very, very happy with. Obviously, there are still some films I really want to try and get. As I mentioned earlier, Everything Everywhere All at Once is one I'd love to try and get Gravity on 4K, but they haven't released that yet. So that will be, as soon as it's released, that will be one that I'll be buying. In the next video, I will be talking about all my DVDs, which are all around here. All around here. So lots to talk about there. But I need to try and get them all in alphabetical order. So in the meantime, let's take one more look at the Blu-rays. I want to thank you all for watching, as always. I know this video has been quite a bit longer, but as I said, there's been over 600 films to talk about. Might have got some facts wrong, might have got some dates wrong. You know, that's that's on me. My brain is like a sieve these days, but you know, you can only do what you can do. So I'm going to try and get editing this down to a reasonable length for you. Hope you've enjoyed it. If there's any films that you recommend that I get on Blu-ray or 4K especially, then please do let me know. In the meantime, I hope you all have a good evening. Stay safe, stay warm, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.